In the Princess Bride Inigo Montoya says you keep saying that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. What is a real-world example of this? My husband has issues with some words that sound kind of similar being accidentally interchanged. Think ruin and ruin, counsel and console. He knows the difference in definition but will swap them out inadvertently. Anyway, he was trying to quote Tracer from Overwatch who says cheers love, the cavalry's here, but he used the word Calvary. I stopped him and had him repeat it. He gave me a look and I told him that he's using the wrong word. Calvary was the hill Jesus was crucified on, not horse-mounted soldiers. For once he believed they were the same word. Woman face-palming. Fascist. Supposed to mean cult of personality dictator with absolute power. Usually used to describe married Republican men whose balls have been chopped off at life in a gated hoa country club and wouldn't know what to do with absolute power if they were a king. Or an obnoxious loudmouth narcissist from Queens seeking attention, that is given to him with very little effort, stroking his ego easily. Not used to describe the uncomfortable reality of Venezuela, which is fascist. Or China, which is so far fascist they bleed out more birch sap. Many if not a majority of Redditors seem to think that the word that means the exact same thing as have examples include I would have gone to that movie. Or you should have got the insurance. These people are both incorrect and stupid. The word of is a preposition used to express the relationship between a part and the whole. The word of is a verb that indicates possession or experience. They are two different words that mean different things, and anyone who uses one when they mean the other is ignorant, stupid, or both. In online parlances, snowflake. A snowflake isn't someone who is mad or gets offended easily. They're called snowflakes as in snowflakes are unique. X200B. It's a mocking term for people, usually Tumblr users, for creating new and creative things to distinguish themselves as uniquely as possible, like an example they're gay, polyautistic, black, lesbian, disabled woman. X200B. It's weird seeing left-leaning people use it as an insult to a group of people while not knowing where it comes from. It's so funny you bring that up. My mom told me about how my brother and I would reenact the sword fighting scene in that movie. We memorized most of the lines, and when it was time for the somersault bean swing thing I would hop up on the couch and try to do a flip, which I always failed but acted like I made the landing, and when my brother would say, "Who are you?" I would respond, "I am amazing," and we would improve from there. I miss being a kid. Unique when it's preceded by words like very. It's either unique or it's not, there are no varying degrees of uniqueness. The phrase always reminds of a funny scene from Mad Men. A French employee states that he won't be asking one of the ladies out because he is a homosexual, and one of men says it doesn't mean what you think it means. He is just so shocked that someone would openly admit to being gay. Decimate, which originally is a Latin term, used by the Romans, meaning to kill 10 of your own army because of some infraction. Not fighting, cowardice, desertion, is bad if you're in the 10. But people use it to mean wipe completely out as in kill everybody. The route is literally Dutch, as in 1/10 a deciliter being 1/10 of a liter, decibel being 1/10 of a bell, etc. My boss uses a few. Divide and conquer instead of pitting one group against another. She thinks it means splitting work amongst ourselves to get it done faster. Kill them with kindness instead of driving someone crazy by being overly helpful to them. She thinks it means just being really nice to someone. Per se she just shoehorns in this randomly. I don't think she really knows what it means. Ambivalent. People think it means the same as indifference, but it means the opposite. Indifference is where you don't care, e.g. I'm indifferent about the color of this room. Ambivalence is where you have two, usually contradictory, opinions at the same time, e.g. I'm glad my sister is dating that dude because she is happy, and he drives me crazy so I want them to break up. My TikTok addicted co-worker keeps calling every woman a pick-me. For example, we were discussing ordering pizza and the store had a sale for large pizzas at the price of medium pizzas. Our other coworker was unsure if she should get a large pizza and said that she couldn't eat an entire large pizza by herself. Of course she got called a pick-me for that. It makes no damn sense. Prolific. Everyone that I see with a limited lexicon misuses words to the nth degree. It appears to them that the word means iconic or legendary. When, really, all it means is to continually put out a body of work. That's it. Anyone can be prolific. As long you're a contemporary who's constantly releasing something, you're prolific. My boss says I lead his ass out when he's trying to say I'll bitch him out. Or I'll chew him out. It takes everything to not just bust up laughing every time. I don't know if he does this on purpose or not, but damn. X either you get onto him and make him stop doing it like that, or I will, and if I have to say something I'm gonna eat his out. Incel, mansplaining, audacity, literally, gaslight, hookup, there's no shortage. But part of me says, okay, I know what a DID mean, but obviously the meaning is changing and I just need to keep up enough to understand what people mean. I try to use my words correctly in a way that can be clearly understood by whoever I am trying to communicate with. Easy literally. People say literally when they mean I'm not lying, but there is never a figuratively expression for what they said. Dude, I literally just got out of the car. Getting out of the car is not a figuratively expression. There is no other way of interpreting it other than literally. These days people say someone is toxic or narcissistic simply for doing something they didn't like, or even for enforcing their own boundaries. It has gotten to be so ridiculous that if you hear someone say somebody is toxic or narcissistic, it's as likely to prove that the person saying it is actually the one exhibiting those traits. Acronym, when they mean initialism or abbreviation. An abbreviation is a truncated word. That man is sketch. An acronym is made up of parts of the phrase it stands for, but is spoken as its own word. Like NASA, Scubs or AIDS. An initialism is an acronym where you pronounce it as individual letters. FBI, ATM, or DNA. Jealous. I'm rich, beautiful, popular, and you're not, you're just jealous. Jealousy is a fear of loss, like when a stranger is macking on your girlfriend. The word people ought to be using is envious. And for a wake-up call, Google George Carlin Forte to be set straight. The man put the diction in addiction. I hear people use the word peruse seeming to mean to casually browse, but it actually means the opposite, to read thoroughly and carefully. Then again, when words become so widely misused and misunderstood enough to take on new meanings, are they really considered incorrect anymore? Just makes me think. Knew someone who'd say stigmata instead of stigma. Really changes the meaning of a sentence, and after hearing the mistake many times it becomes hard to keep a straight face. Yes, I did correct them, but it was ingrained and took a while to make the change. We both had a sense of humor about it. The ones I see the most often are woke. So many people screaming about the woke mob legitimately cannot define this one. Karen. Not every woman with an opinion you don't like is a Karen. Narcissist. Not every jerk is a narcissist. Gaslight synonymous with lie now. Mortified, mortifying. I see people use it on Reddit all the time when what they mean is horrified, horrifying, and it drives me bonkers. The worst part is that they can be used as synonyms in a very specific context, so I get where the confusion lies, but it still just grates on my nerves. Narcissist. Pretty good example of the weaponized pop psychology terms that make mental health so stigmatized today. Narcissist may as well be a synonym for ex or rude family members according to most people online. Any selfish behaviors are always narcissistic. The word inception means something totally different than a thing inside a thing, and I think most people know this on a base level, but I almost never see it used in any way anymore except when something is inside another thing. It becomes thingception. Lots of good examples in this thread. I also appreciate learning what nonplussed really means, so that I can contribute too. I'll add that these are sometimes cases of malapropism in which one word is mistakenly used for another because they sound similar. We had mock interviews in high school. I kept using the word micromanage in a positive way, don't remember exactly what I thought it meant. The lady told me afterwards that I did good except for misusing micromanage, and informed me of the real meaning. Recently someone taught soccer announcers to say in it around 10 times a game, almost always incorrectly. Especially when the ball is in and around a particular player. Oh really, the ball was inside the player, huh? Inception to refer to something within something. They clearly define in the movie Inception it's to subliminally put an idea into someone's head via their dream tech. Something within something is recursion, objectively. For example, 2-2 is objectively 4, but a video game is not objectively bad. Even if we both know it sucks, it's still subjectively bad, even if it's subjectively bugged or non-functional. HIPAA violation. No, it's not a HIPAA violation if your mother-in-law tells her friend, your sister, anyone that you're pregnant. Assuming your mother-in-law does not work for your gynecologist. AI, it used to mean actual artificial intelligence. Computers that can learn and eventually think. And intelligence. Now anything vaguely involving machine learning or big data is sold as AI. The word amazing. No Sheila, your sandwich is not amazing. Amazing means to cause great wonder and astonishment. If a sandwich elicits this feeling in you, then you need to get out more. Pedophile. On the internet pretty much everyone who is interested in someone younger than 18 is called a pedophile or a groomer, even if the younger person is 17. That's not what it means. Grooming, at least in Canada, from the anti-sogi crowd. They seem to equate age-appropriate education with making the kids gay, trans, bi, etc., or encouraging them to be sexually active. Communism, liberal, fascist, etc. Basically, majority of the political terms in the context they get used, especially when they're used as insults. Historically, they mean specific ideas. Every politician claiming anything they don't like is Marxism or socialism or communism. They are distinct, separate concepts and not a label to call a policy that actually helps people. I could care less, when they want to mean they couldn't possibly care any less than they do right now. If you could care less, that means that you already care at least somewhat. If someone has bemused expression on their face, it doesn't mean they found something mildly funny. It means they're confused, puzzled, bewildered, and not in a fun way. Misogynistic: if anything anyone says men are better at anything than women, it's either misogynistic, they're a misogynist, or it's tied to the misogynistic patriarchy. It's a free market, dude, when they precede it with gibberish that makes it fully clear the situation being discussed is about as far from the free market as it gets. When people call others ignorant when they mean stupid, there is a difference between not having the information and not being able to understand it even if you did. No, something is not incredulous. Something might be incredible and you might be incredulous about it. But no, the thing is not incredulous, you absolute cretin. Gaslighting and woke, and snowflake tend to be the ones I see used incredibly incorrectly or with entirely the wrong understanding of the term most often.